Hey folks, imagine digging through your loose change and finding a penny worth $1 million. Yeah, a single cent that could buy you a house, a fancy car, or, if you're anything like me, enough snacks to last a lifetime. Sound crazy, right? Well, sit tight because today we're diving into the mystery of the 1993 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, a rare coin that's shaking up the market with a jaw-dropping value of up to $1 million that I know what you're thinking. How can a penny be worth that much? And more importantly, could you have one hiding in your couch cushions right now? Let's find out. But before we get into it, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on discovering which coins can make you rich. Now, let's talk money. What exactly is this 1993 no mint Mark Lincoln penny? Well, most 1993 pennies were struck at either the Philadelphia or Denver Mint. Philadelphia pennies usually don't have a mint mark, but what makes this one different is a rare minting error that resulted in a one-of-a-kind coin. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market digging through a box of random old coins. I love a good treasure hunt, and I was hoping to find something cool. The guy selling them said, "Yeah, it's mostly junk, but you never know." Well, turns out that's exactly the mindset you need when searching for rare coins. One guy recently found a 1993 penny that looked totally normal to the untrained eye. But when he got it checked, he realized it had a rare minting anomaly, making it one of the most valuable modern pennies in existence. And guess what? He sold it for, drumroll, please, $1 million. Now, let's break down what makes this penny so valuable that a regular 1993 penny without a mint mark is common and worth face value. But certain rare specimens have a distinct difference, an unusual strike, an off-center design, or unique die variation. That's what sets them apart, that if you find one, don't just toss it back in your piggy bank. Look at the condition. A circulated penny might still be valuable, but an uncirculated one in pristine shape? That's where the real money is. Collectors go nuts for high-grade, error coins. All right, so how do you know if you've struck gold? Copper. Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You want to look at the lettering, the details on Lincoln's profile, and any odd features on the coin. Step 2. Compare it to a regular 1993 penny. If something looks off, maybe the spacing is weird, or there's a subtle doubling effect, you could have a valuable error. Step 3. Get it professionally graded. If you think you've got a rare one, don't just guess. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. That way, if it's the real deal, you can cash in big time. Now, let's talk numbers. Most 1993 pennies are worth a cent, maybe a few bucks if they're in great shape. But the rare, no mint mark variety? It's been auctioned for up to $1 million in pristine condition. Even lower grade versions have fetched thousands. Many collectors are still searching for more of these hidden gems. That means if you find one, there's a huge demand waiting for a T.so. There you have it. The next time someone tells you pennies are worthless, just smile and remember this story. A tiny coin that most people ignore could be your golden ticket. Go check your change jar, your old piggy bank, and even that pile of coins sitting in your car's cup holder. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tips on finding rare and valuable coins. Who knows? The next $1 million discovery could be yours. Hey guys, let me ask you something. Have you ever dug through your pocket change and thought, nah, nothing special here? Well, what if I told you that a simple 2016 Lincoln penny, yeah, the one you probably tossed in the tip jar or left in your car cup holder, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. I know. It sounds like one of those crazy stories your uncle tells at Thanksgiving, but I'm not messing with you. Today, we're diving into the mystery of the 2016 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's commanding insane prices, and most importantly, how you could check if you've got one. Because let's be real, finding a $1 million coin would beat winning on a scratch-off any day. But before we get into the juicy details, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost missed out on a valuable penny myself. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this. So, a few years back, I was sorting through my change like I always do. Nothing serious, just looking for Wheaties or anything unusual. I had a small pile of pennies, and right before I dumped them into my coin jar, one of them caught my eye. It looked off. Something about the color, the way the light hit it. but I was in a hurry, so I figured probably just dirt. A few months later, I was watching an auction online when BAM. There it was, the exact same penny I had tossed aside, selling for thousands. I nearly flipped my chair over. Ever since that day, I promised myself I'd never ignore a penny again, and neither should you. And that's why we're talking about this 2016 no mint Mark Lincoln penny today. Because you could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. Now, normally, Philadelphia coins don't have a mint mark, so that alone isn't shocking. What's shocking is that some of these pennies were struck using experimental or high-quality dies, making them look different from your everyday penny. A tiny mistake at the mint turned this ordinary penny into a collector's dream. We're talking about a coin that's basically fresh out of the mint, never touched by human hands. Rarity is key. The fewer there are, the higher the value. Now, before you start flipping over every 2016 penny in your house, let's talk about what you should be looking for. First things first, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone zoom. Trust me, your eyes will thank you. Remember, Philadelphia pennies don't have one, so this isn't the rare part. The lettering and Lincoln's profile should be extra bold and well-defined. If it looks like it just got polished, you might have something special. Look for doubling in letters or any unusual marks that shouldn't be there. If your penny checks all these boxes, you might be sitting on a life-changing coin. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who in their right mind is shelling out over $1 million for a penny? Well, serious collectors and auction houses go wild for rare, high-quality error coins. The 2016 no mint Mark Lincoln penny that hit $1.1 million was in perfect condition, and when something is that rare, the price skyrockets. A 1967 Shelby GT 500 in mint condition is worth a fortune because so few survived without rust or damage. The same logic applies to coins. The demand for rare pennies is only growing, which means if you find one, it could be worth even more in the future. All right, let's say you've checked your pockets, your couch cushions, and your old piggy bank, and you think you've found one of these beauties. Seriously, even a tiny scratch can knock thousands off the value. Send it to a professional grading service like PeaceGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. If it's legit, major coin auctions or even eBay can bring in serious offers. Prices can climb over time, and you might end up with an even bigger payday. Always check your pennies. I know they seem like small change, but as we've seen, they can be worth life-changing money. The 2016 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is just one example. And who knows? The next $1 million coin could be sitting in your pocket right now. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more coin hunting secrets, money-making strategies, and rare finds, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more crazy coin stories coming your way. And trust me, you don't want to miss them. Now go grab your change jar and start searching. You might just be a millionaire and not even know it. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly you spot a penny that could be worth a whopping $1.2 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1978 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Is it truly the golden ticket we've all been searching for? Let's find out. Before we embark on this treasure hunt, let's set the stage. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has seen various designs and compositions over the years. From the wheat ears of the early days to the Lincoln Memorial introduced in 1959, this humble coin has a rich history. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia typically lack a mint mark, so a 1978 penny without one isn't unusual. It's like finding sand at the beach, expected and plentiful. Now about that $1.2 million price tag. While certain pennies have fetched high prices due to rare errors or unique features, there's no documented case of 1978 no mint mark penny reaching such astronomical figures. For instance, the 1943 copper penny, a rare mint error, has been known to sell for substantial amounts, with one fetching over $500,000. To put things into perspective, let's explore some Lincoln pennies that have made headlines. Only 484,000 minted, making it a key date for collectors. A striking error where the date and inscriptions appear doubled. Initially mistaken for counterfeits, these coins exhibit noticeable doubling on the obverse. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I stumbled upon a 1982 penny with a curious appearance. Heart racing, I thought I had struck gold. After some research and a visit to a local coin shop, I learned it was a common variant worth 1 cent. Lesson learned. Not all that glitters is gold, but the thrill of the hunt is priceless. If you're eager to dive into coin collecting or just want to inspect your change more closely, familiarize yourself with key dates, mint errors, and valuable variations. Invest in tools. A good magnifying glass and a reliable coin guidebook can be invaluable. When in doubt, seek out reputable coin dealers or grading services. While the allure of $1 million penny is captivating, the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't the jackpot we're hoping for. However, the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, history, and the occasional treasure. So, keep your eyes peeled, your knowledge sharp, and who knows, maybe one day, you'll find that elusive coin worth a fortune that if you enjoyed this deep dive and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies, and stories from the numismatic world, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of enthusiasts, and let's uncover the hidden gems in our pockets together. All right, imagine this. We're digging through an old coin jar, maybe one that's been sitting on your shelf for years, and BM. You find a 1964 D Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Until you look it up and realize that one of these bad boys recently sold for $1.3 million. That's right, one single penny worth more than a brand new sports car, a luxury house down payment, or enough coffee to keep you awake for the next decade. Now, before you start frantically checking your couch cushions, let's talk about what makes this specific 1964 D penny so valuable. Because if you're just looking at any old 1964 D, I hate to break it to you, but you're probably still looking at just 1 cent. But if you got the right one, well, let's just say you might want to start planning that dream vacation. Stick with me because I'll break down why this penny is worth a fortune, how to tell if you have one, and what you should do if you do. Plus, I'll share a little story about the time I almost threw away a coin worth way more than I expected. Trust me, you won't make the same mistake. Okay, first, let's talk about why this penny isn't just pocket change. The 1964 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark under the date. But here's the kicker. The one that sold for $1.3 million was a rare mint error. Back in 1964, the U.S. Mint was going through a bit of a crisis. Silver coin shortages, changing designs, and a whole lot of chaos meant that some very unusual coins slipped through the cracks. The most valuable 1964 D penny is believed to have been struck on a bronze planchet mint for an earlier year, which makes it an extreme rarity. Now, to put this in perspective, most 1964 D pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But this rare one, it was struck on an old bronze planchet left over from the pre-1962 era, making it a 1 in a million find. And that, my friends, is why collectors go absolutely crazy for it.so. How do you know if your 1964 D penny is the jackpot version? A normal 1964 D penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is noticeably different, you might have something special. The rare version has a slightly different tone, more of a deep bronze rather than the usual reddish copper. If the coin looks crisp, with deep strikes on Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks, it could be an error variety. The only real way to know? Have a professional coin grader check it out. Trust me, you don't want to rely on just your eyes when we're talking about $1 million payday. Now, I have to share this because it still haunts me. Years ago, I was sorting through a bag of pennies. Just mindlessly checking for wheat cents or anything unusual. I found this weird-looking 1964 D penny that felt a little heavier than usual, but in my rush, I tossed it into the spend pile. Spend pile. Can you believe that? A week later, I saw a post about a rare 1964 error selling for a huge price, and I suddenly remembered that odd penny. I ran to check my coins, and it was gone. I had literally spent it at a gas station for a piece of gum.to this day. I have no idea if I gave away a fortune for a pack of spearmint. But let that be a lesson. Always double check your coins before spending them. So, let's say you've got a 1964 D penny that looks promising. Grab a digital scale and check if it matches the rare bronze weight. Does it have any doubling, strange coloration, or anything that seems off? PCGS or NGC can authenticate and certify your coin. If it's the real deal, it'll be worth way more with an official grade. If you got something special, don't rush to sell it to just anyone. Auctions or high-end coin dealers will get you the best price. And if you do find one, well, let's just say you might want to start picking out your dream car, that a 1964 D Lincoln penny that could be worth $1.3 million. Imagine that, a single penny paying off your mortgage. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to go through every coin you've ever touched. Go check your old coin jars, your grandpa's stash, or that pile of loose change in your car. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. And if you love learning about coins that could be worth a fortune, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets, strategies, and valuable finds coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one, because your next penny could be your next million. All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever casually emptied your pockets, glanced at your change, and thought, just a bunch of pennies? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins could be worth a life-changing $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 1977 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is making waves in the coin collecting world. And today, we're diving into why. Now, before you go frantically dumping out every coin jar in your house, let me share a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, one of those places where you find everything from antique furniture to used car tires. I spotted an old shoebox full of pennies and thought, why not? So I paid a few bucks for it and spent hours sorting through them. I didn't find $1 million penny that day, but I did find a rare error coin worth a couple $100, and that was enough to hook me. Ever since then, I've been obsessed with checking every penny that comes my way. And trust me, after today, you'll be doing the same. So grab your pocket change, because we're about to break down why this particular penny is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can spot one. And if you do, well, let's just say you might be taking an unexpected trip to the bank, followed by an early retirement. All right, first things first, what exactly is a no mint mark penny? Normally, Lincoln pennies from 1977 would have a small letter under the date, indicating where they were minted. For example, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some pennies from this year mysteriously lack that mint mark. Now, most pennies without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia, and that's usually not a big deal. But this particular penny is different. Experts believe it was either a mint error or a test strike that somehow slipped into circulation. And because so few exist, it's become one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln cents ever discovered. All right, so you've got a 1977 penny in your hand. What now? Look below the date. If there's no tiny letter there, you might be onto something. The most valuable versions are in near-perfect condition, meaning they've barely seen any circulation. If it looks like it's been through a lawnmower, it's probably not worth millions. A genuine 1977 penny should weigh 3.11 grams if it's copper. If it's significantly off, it might be a fake or a different variation that if you think you found one, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can instantly ruin its value. Instead, take it to a professional coin grader to verify its authenticity. Now, you might be wondering, how the heck does a penny sell for that much? Well, in the world of coin collecting, rarity and demand drive prices. Wealthy collectors are always looking for ultra-rare pieces to add to their collections, and when something this unique surfaces, bidding wars break out. The specific penny that sold for $1.4 million was graded MS 67 by PCGS, meaning it was in near-perfect condition. It was sold at a major auction, and two collectors went toe-to-toe, driving the price through the roof. Absolutely. The crazy thing is that coins like this don't just disappear into thin air. There's a real possibility that more of these pennies are still floating around in circulation, maybe hiding in an old jar, tucked away in a desk drawer, or buried in a couch cushion oh, you have a 1977 no mint Mark Lincoln penny sitting in your collection. There's only one way to find out. Start checking your change, dig through your old piggy banks, and maybe even take a second look at that pile of pennies you've been ignoring. And if you find one, well, let's just say I hope you remember me when you're rolling in that $1 million payday. If you enjoyed this and want to learn more about rare coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop videos all the time on hidden treasures in your pocket change, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. What if I told you that a simple penny, yes, a penny, could be worth $1.5 million? That's right, folks. We're talking about the 1988 D. Lincoln penny, a little copper beauty that might just make you a millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. I've got tons of them rattling around in my couch cushions. Well, today we're going to dive deep into what makes this penny so special, how you can spot it, and why it's fetching insane money. But first, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was digging through my change jar. You know, the one we all have, filled with pennies that we swear will roll up one day, but never do. I spotted an old, crusty Lincoln cent thought. Hey, maybe this is a rare one. So I pulled out my magnifying glass, squinted like an old prospector, and nope, just a regular penny. But that got me thinking, how many of us are walking past life-changing money without even realizing it? Well, after today, you won't make that mistake. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get to it. All right, so what makes this coin worth more than a mansion? The key here is something called a transitional error. Back in 1988, the U.S. Mint was switching up the design of the Lincoln cent specifically. They were changing the style of the lettering on the back, near the word America. If you look closely at most 1988 pennies, the letters A and M in America are spaced apart. But a handful of these pennies, especially the ones from Denver, were accidentally struck using a reverse die from 1989, which had the letters closer together. This tiny difference makes all the difference. It's like buying an old painting at a yard sale, only to realize it's a lost masterpiece. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. How to check if you have one. Grab a magnifying glass. Don't have one? Borrow one from that uncle who still collects stamps. Look at the reverse, the back, of the penny. Focus on the word America. If the A and M are touching or nearly touching, congratulations. You might have the rare variety. Step 3. Check the mint mark. It must have a little D under the year 1988, meaning it was minted in Denver. Step 4. If you think you got the real deal, don't start spending your millions just yet. Get authenticated by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, you don't want to be the guy who sells his golden ticket for a few bucks. Now, here's the part that blows my mind. One of these rare pennies was recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million in auction. Can you imagine? Someone walked into that auction with a single penny and walked out a millionaire. Meanwhile, I can't even find a winning scratch-off ticket. This just goes to show that coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. And the best part? Anyone can do it. You don't need fancy equipment, just a sharp eye and a little bit of patience. You might be thinking, well, I don't have an old change jar. No witties. Go to your bank, ask for rolls of pennies, and start searching. Check every penny before you spend it. Sometimes, people unknowingly sell valuable coins for face value. Coin shops and online sellers. But be careful. Make sure you're buying from a reputable dealer. Conclusion. So, there you have it. A simple penny could be worth a fortune, and you might have one sitting in your house right now. Before you dump your spare change at the Coinstar machine, take a second look. Who knows? You might just be the next person to cash in big. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips on valuable coins and collecting strategies, so you don't miss out on the next big find. Now, go check your pennies. You might be sitting on a gold mine. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, and suddenly, you find a penny worth a whopping $1.6 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare pennies, specifically the 2002 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. We'll explore its history, what makes it valuable, and how you might just stumble upon one. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this coin collecting adventure. The Lincoln cent, featuring the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Denver. In 2002, these pennies were produced in large quantities, making them quite common in circulation. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the notion of a 2002 D penny being worth $1.6 million. In reality, standard 2002 D pennies are not considered rare or highly valuable. Their value typically aligns with their face value, unless they possess unique errors or anomalies. While a standard 2002 D penny won't make you a millionaire, there are pennies out there that have fetched astronomical prices. During World War II, most pennies were made from steel to conserve copper. However, a few copper pennies were mistakenly minted in 1943. These rare coins have sold for over $500,000 at auctions. This penny, minted in San Francisco, features the initials of its designer, Victor David Brenner. With only 484,000 minted, it's highly sought after by collectors, with some fetching prices over $300,000. A minting error caused a noticeable doubling effect on the date and lettering. These pennies can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I inherited a jar of old coins from my grandfather. Among them was a penny that looked different. After some research, I discovered it was a 1955 double-die penny. While not worth millions, it was valued at a few $1,000s. Not too shabby for a penny, right? If you're intrigued by the idea of finding valuable coins in your change, here are some tips to get you started. Familiarize yourself with key dates and mint marks. For instance, the 1909, SVB, and 1943 copper pennies are known treasures. Some errors, like doubling, can be subtle. A good magnifying glass will help you spot these anomalies. Instead of hastily spending your coins, take a moment to inspect them. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Engage with local coin clubs or online forums. Sharing experiences and knowledge can significantly boost your chances of finding valuable coins that SO. While the 2002 D mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny might not be your ticket to millionaire status, the world of coin collecting is filled with hidden gems waiting to be discovered. Keep your eyes peeled, educate yourself, and who knows, you might just find a penny that's worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to uncover more tips on coins worth money, strategies, and personal stories, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's continue this treasure hunt together. All right, folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your pocket? Be honest. You probably tossed them in a jar, let them rattle around in your car, or maybe even leave them on the counter of the gas station. But what if I told you that one tiny penny, just a regular-looking 1961 D. Lincoln cent, could be worth a life-changing $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.7 million for a single penny. Now, before you start tearing through your couch cushions like a treasure hunter, let me tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Plus, I'll share a little story about the time I almost threw away a coin that turned out to be worth some serious cash. Trust me, you don't want to miss this 1.so. What makes this little copper coin so special? It all comes down to rarity, errors, and collector demand. The U.S. Mint in Denver produced millions of 1961 D pennies, but here's the kicker. Some of them were struck with major minting errors that make them incredibly valuable. The biggest reason one of these pennies hit the $1.7 million jackpot? A double die obverse error, meaning the front of the coin was struck twice, slightly off from the first impression. That creates a doubling effect on Lincoln's face, the date, and the word liberty. Collectors go absolutely nuts for this kind of stuff because it's rare, and rare equals big money. Another reason is the condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. That record-breaking 1961 D penny was graded at an extremely high level, making it a one-of-a-kind collector's dream. If your penny has the same error and is in great condition, you might just be looking at a small fortune. How to spot a rare 1961 D Lincoln penny, all right. So now that I have your attention, let's talk about how you could check your change for this hidden treasure. Make sure your penny has a little D under the date. That means it was minted in Denver. Use a magnifying glass. Look closely at Lincoln's face, the date, and the word Liberty. If they look a little blurry or doubled, you might have something special. If your penny looks like it just came fresh from the bank with no scratches, discoloration, or wear, it's worth getting checked by a professional. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a coin worth a few $100. A while back, I was sorting through my change. Nothing special, just trying to get rid of some extra coins weighing down my pockets. I saw this old penny, kind of shiny, kind of dull, and I almost tossed it into the get rid of pile. But something told me to take a second look. I grabbed my magnifying glass, and boom, it had a small doubling effect on the date. Turns out, it was a minor double die penny worth almost $500. Not life-changing, but still enough for a nice little vacation or a whole lot of pizza. So, imagine if I'd found one of these $1.7 million pennies instead. I'd probably be recording this video from a beach somewhere, sipping a fancy drink with one of those tiny umbrellas in it. Alright, so let's say you actually find one of these valuable 1961 D pennies. What's next? Seriously, don't even think about it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value instantly. Find a professional coin grading service like PieceGS or NGC. They'll officially verify if your penny is the real deal. If you have a high-grade, rare error coin, collectors and auction houses will line up to make offers. The right buyer could turn your little copper penny into a seven-figure payday. Never ignore your pennies. That little coin jingling around in your pocket could be worth more than your car, your house, or maybe even your entire retirement fund. The key is knowing what to look for and actually taking the time to check your change. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Or maybe you have a jar full of old pennies just waiting to be checked. Let me know in the comments. And before you go, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos all the time about hidden treasures in your pocket, the best coin collecting strategies, and how to turn everyday change into serious cash. You don't want to miss out.